Welcome into episode 2 of the Aces Loaded podcast. Today's guest is Jake Hager. Jake, welcome to episode 2, and congratulations on being our first player guest of the season.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
All right, let's start early in your career, growing up in Vegas. So were you just found like up and down the strip in Vegas, or what was that experience like?
No, everyone thinks, Vegas is all about the strip, but it's not, man. Vegas is beautiful, and it's growing like crazy, man. It's like people from California, Arizona, everyone's moving out there. But growing up there was different, man. Like, I was barely on the strip. We have beautiful suburbs out there. But like being a kid, man, all I was doing was playing sports. So I was constantly, practicing either basketball or baseball, going to, club games, all that stuff. So like if we want to go to a famous restaurant or a nice restaurant, we would go to the strip. But other than that, man, we were never there.
I was gonna say, so in high school you went to Sierra Vista. You played basketball. What was your position in basketball?
I was shooting guard. Yeah, point guard, shooting guard. But yeah, I love basketball, man. I grew up playing it pretty much my whole life. I was actually very fortunate. Growing up as a kid, the house that we lived in wouldn't let us have a basketball hoop outside, like because the HOA wouldn't let us. So
darn HOA! It's always the HOA.
Darn HOA, man. So fortunately, my parents, man, they ended up putting a basketball hoop in our house because our ceilings were high enough. So since we couldn't have it outside, they put it inside, and it took a lot of convincing to get my mom to say yes to, but we made it happen, and we had a basketball hoop in our house. Right when you walk in the front door, there's 3-point range.
It was right when you walk in the front door.
Right when you walk in, man. It was probably the best thing ever. So my brother played basketball. He went and played D1 basketball. So that thing was used every single day, especially for me as a kid growing up. All my birthday parties were 3-on-3 tournaments in the house, all that stuff. So it was a lot of fun, man. I was very fortunate. I can't thank my parents enough for that. So it was a lot of fun with that. But yeah, once I got to high school, we had to get out of that house and we had to sell it and turn it into a regular house. But yeah, man, I use that thing every single day.
That's got to be like the dream for a middle school kid to have like a basketball court right in your foyer. Was it like right in your foyer?
It was literally like it was our living room. So literally right when you open up the front door, it's right there, and it was amazing, man. Like I said, it was like we had a returner on the hoop. Sit there doing free throws every single day, shooting hoops. It was awesome.
You ever think about playing in college, or was it locked in on baseball throughout your childhood?
No, I was locked in on baseball, man. I mean, I would have loved to play basketball. I wish I was 6'4", 6'5" to go continue playing it, but unfortunately, I'm not that tall. But yeah, I mean, once I got into high school, I started to realize that baseball was going to be my passion, and yeah, man, just stuck to it and still grinding.
Growing up, played on a team with Bryce Harper, Joey Gallo, and then a guy like yourself. Like, do those guys stand out? Do you know at that age that you guys are going to be something special?
Oh, for sure, man. Especially Bryce. I've known Bryce for a long time, and when I want to say we were 8 or 9 years old, we were playing for the Southern Nevada Bulldogs, and we had 3-hour practices on Sundays, and we'd be done with practice, and I'd be going home, but him and his dad would still be out on the field hitting BP, and you could just see it in Bryce, man. Like he's always had that gifted talent, and it's it was fun playing with him and watching him grow. And I mean, look who he is now, man. He was always going to be a superstar. And same with Gallo. I mean, Gallo has always been a great power hitter, and was just overall just a great baseball player. So being on the same team with them growing up was a lot of fun. We won a lot of games, won a lot of tournaments. It was fun.
I was gonna say, did you guys ever lose a tournament? Or
I'm pretty sure every tournament that we got in, we won. It was I have a lot of medals and trophies going back to those USSSA tournaments, all that stuff, and going to Big League Dreams and winning those tournaments. So it was a lot of fun, man.
I'm trying to think. So did you or Bryce or Joe? You guys have any pitching experience on that team? Because or were you guys loaded in that department as well?
We all pitched, man. Bryce pitched, I pitched, Joey pitched, and there was there's
I guess at that age you don't really have like a 5-man rotation.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone was throwing. But yeah, I mean, Bryce always threw hard, man. It was I bet back when we were kids, I was throwing hard as well. I mean, we all were. But yeah, I mean, like pitching wise, I mean, yeah, we all grabbed the rock and we threw it.
Your first round pick by Tampa Bay, committed to Arizona State. Was it always the plan to go with the Rays, or was there any question there to go to college?
Once I started to realize that I was going to get drafted, I mean that was the goal, man. I wanted to start my career early. I mean, it would have been fun to go to Arizona State, but yeah, once my name was called that first day, I was like, I'm going. I want to start my career early, get going, and try to become a big leaguer as quick as I can. But like I said, Arizona State would have been fun, but yeah, right away once I got drafted, I was ready to go.
Well, I spent some time in your first stop. I think it was your first stop in Princeton, West Virginia. We talked about this before, in the Appalachian League, and I believe what was that? I think that was advanced rookie ball.
Yeah, advanced rookie ball, or short season advanced rookie ball.
Yeah. Your favorite thing about the Appy League, because we can relate there.
I don't know if there was a favorite thing about the Appy League. But I mean, for me, man, I was 18 years old coming into that league, and it was just big change for me. But as a kid, 18-year-old kid, I honestly loved every single minute of it just because I was playing professional baseball. I was living my dream. I got to play. But yeah, I mean, looking back at the cities that we were in and the dugouts and the clubhouses that we were in, it was pretty tough.
That's a big time answer. I was 19 years old when I was in Pulaski. And that experience to me was the same. I was getting to call professional baseball, so it was a dream come true. You've played, obviously, for a lot of different teams. In terms of Reno, organization-wise, what's special about not only the place but the people involved?
I've had a great experience here in Reno. When I first got here in 2021, the first thing I want to say, like the guys on the team, each team that I played with, each team that I've been a part of with the Reno, a lot of great dudes. Everyone, good team players, great guys to get along with. Everyone gets along well, and then the coaching staff's great. And then the front office, they do an amazing job. It's a lot of fun playing here. It's a good atmosphere. The fans are great. My experience here, it's been a lot of fun.
One of those big moments you had in Reno in the PCL championship, a 3-run homer, where you grew up in Vegas. How special was that moment?
Oh, it was awesome, man. To get to a PCL championship or any type of championship is hard to do, especially in AAA, and especially to do it in Vegas is awesome, man. I mean, that's my hometown. All my friends and family were there, and once I hit that ball, man, it was just an awesome feeling. And then to win it, and like I said, to win it in Vegas, it was special, man.
Yeah, rounding the bases. What's the emotion like in front of all your family and friends? That's unreal.
Oh man, it's hard to explain, man. Like I said, once I hit the ball, man, it was kind of like I blacked out. Especially it was a 3-run homer. Went up early, and I was just pumped, man. I mean, we're all excited, and we all felt like in that moment we were going to win that game. So it was a huge, lift in the game, and like I said, it was a surreal moment.
You've played in a ton of ballparks as well. How about the coolest ballpark you've played in? Can be in the bigs or in the minors.
Coolest ballpark, man, is definitely Wrigley for me. I grew up a Cubs fan, and being able to go play in that stadium, I mean, it's just a dream come true for me. It's special, man. It's like it feels like baseball there. It's smaller, it's old, and it's very historic. But smaller. Everyone's kind of on top of you. It's a day game in Chicago, man. It's just awesome.
I expected that answer. Real quick, from Vegas, why are you a Cubs fan?
Well, so in Vegas we don't have any teams, obviously.
Yeah.
Or back then, it was between the Cubs and the Braves, because the Cubs.
You're just picking?
It was just like the Cubs were always on TV and on true. WGN, and the Braves were always on TBS. And for some reason, I always picked the Cubs, and I was a big Sammy Sosa fan, honestly. And Sammy Sosa, Kerry Wood, Mark Pryor, I just loved watching them as a kid, and I loved their uniforms, and they were always on TV for me. So I just fell in love with them.
Awesome team. Probably broke your heart a couple times.
A lot, yeah.
2008, 2009.
Yeah, they did for sure. But I stuck with it, man. I'll always be a Cubs fan. I'm a big fan of them.
We were talking before we started here. Feels like a lot of baseball players are golfers. You are one.
I am a golfer. I'm not the best golfer.
Well, you can say that, but you're probably not bad, right?
I can compete, man. But we have a lot of good golfers on this team, so we all try and get out there on our off days, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I try to play as much as I can in the off season. It's always good to go play with your teammates, man. It's a good time. We always have fun. But like I said, we have a lot of good golfers on the team, so I enjoy playing with them, and it's always fun competition.
Who's the best golfer on the team?
Tommy, for sure. Tommy Henry. Yeah, he's definitely the best. Tommy's pretty good. Fott's good. Dom, Fletcher. We actually have a lot of good guys.
What do you shoot? What's your? I could just ask what your handicap is, but I don't really know my handicap.
It all depends on the day. I mean, there could be a time where I'm shooting in the low 80s, but then I could easily shoot a 98 if I wanted to. You never know. All depends on the day.
What about? Are you a skier?
No, I've never skied before. I used to snowboard.
I guess it's caution of injury. So
Yeah, I haven't snowboarded in a long time, but yeah, once my career's over with, I'll get back on the slopes for sure.
So you've been out to Lake Tahoe, I assume, a good amount.
I have, man. I love it out there. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, especially being up here in Reno, like we're not far away. Usually on the off days, trying to get up there. Especially right now, it's even though it's cold, it's beautiful to see with the snow.
That's all I got for you, Jake. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.